So let's run a short demo and explain what we're going to do today. This will be our short code, and let's jump directly to the demo. So this will be our original video. As you can see, these are a person, and basically we would like to do an analysis and do some counting for each of those frames. And let's run the result. And you can see that we are counting for each of the frames how many person. Here you can see the total counts, and here the frame duration, and here is the small video, and we can see how many people were counting each of the frames in this during these steps. And of course we can do a counting for each category based on a YOLO11 weights. So let's start with the installation, and then we will jump to the coding as well. This video is part of this playlist. You are most welcome to visit my playlist. You can find many types of object detection tutorials. Let's start with the installation part. Similar to my previous tutorials, first of all you should create a new and fresh Conda environment, and this is based on Python 3.12, and I name it YOLO11 312. Of course you can choose your custom name. Now you should install a PyTorch. You should choose the command according to your CUDA version. You can find for each PyTorch what are the commands for the installation. So first of all you should run nbcc -- version and discover your CUDA version. If you have a GPU card, CUDA is the software to utilize the GPU card. If you don't have a GPU card, you can run it on a CPU only as well. I have a CUDA and 12.8. This is my version, and this is the command. I copied this command from the PyTorch website. This is the command for installing PyTorch 2.9.1 for a CUDA 12X. Then you should install these Python libraries. First of all, the Ultralytics, and this is the specific version that I'm using in this tutorial, and then another library named Shapely that we will use it later. And before we start coding, we also need a video to run this real-time analysis. So I will use this file, this people.mp4 file, and this file will be part of the code, and I will leave a link in the video description for the code and also for this file. So I believe we are ready to start coding. So let's start coding, and let's create a new and fresh Python file, and let's name it how to display real-time analysis.py. So that will be our Python, and let's start coding. First we need to import OpenCV for image processing and solution module from Ultralytics to access the high-level YOLO11 Analytics tool. We'll start by opening our source video, and let's copy and paste the path and change the directions of the slashes. And after that, it is always good practice to add a assertion here to ensure the video file loaded correctly before we start processing. Let's fix the OpenCV, and now we can continue with the error message. And next, to ensure our output video matches the input, we extract the original width, height, and frame per second using these capture properties. So the first one is the frame width, and next would be the height and the frame per second. Now we will initialize the video writer, and this will be the output, the outcome of this of this process. We specify the output path, and we will use the MP4V codec and pass the dimensions and frame rate we just captured. So let's store our output video in the same path as our source video, and let's add the rest, the codec, the frame per second, and the width and height. Next is our core script. We initialize the YOLO11 Analytics solution, specifying the nano model for speed and filtering for class 0, which represent people. So please notice the argument for this object. First of all, we are sending the YOLO, which YOLO we are going to use, and N means nano, but most important is the classes. When we are sending 0, this is mean the first class, which is a person, and all the classes are between 0 to 80, the COCO classes, and you can add more classes next to the 0 separated by commas. Of course, you can put here your own YOLO custom model. Next, we will initialize a frame counter to keep track of our progress through the video loop. Now we enter the main loop, which will run as long as the video file is open and providing frames. We read the next frame from the video. If successful, we have a valid image to work with. We take a quick snapshot of the clean original frame. We don't, the original frame will not be covered with our updates. We use this later to create a picture-in-picture effect. Here we pass the frame and the count into the analytics engine. This handles the YOLO11 detection and tracking logic. And we then extract the annotated frame, which now contains our bounding box and tracking data. We check if the annotated frame exists to avoid error during processing. And we will do some more checking. If the AI model changed the frame size, we resize it back to our original dimension to keep the video consistent. So we are checking the width and the height, and we resize if there was any change. And to make the UI look, let's say, more nice, we will create a thumbnail. Here we scale the original frame down to 30% of its size. So we will resize the width and the height with 30%, and then we will update our original frame and reduce it. We will put it inside our image later. Next, we will calculate the position for our overlay. We will place it on the right side with a small margin to make a clean broadcast look. Now we overlay the clean thumbnail onto our main annotated frame, and this allows viewers to see the raw feed alongside the AI analysis. Oh, I forgot to create the thumbnail variable. This is the resized original image. Great, now we can continue. Finally, we write the processed frame to our output file and display the live analysis window so we can see the result in real time. Next, we will add a break condition. If you press the Q key, the loop will terminate immediately. And if the video ends or the frame fails to load, we break out of the main loop. Now let's run the code. Great. Now each of the points indicates how many people, so this is the detected object, how many people were detected in each frame. So here you can see the frames, and here you can see the total counts of persons, and it generates a line of how many persons detected in each of the frame. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please subscribe my channel. More videos will be uploaded soon.